Still waking up tired, joints stiff, and your best friend below the belt half asleep. One simple change to how and when you drink water can fix all three, starting tomorrow. I'm Dr. Justin Keller, and in the next few minutes you will learn the hidden dehydration test every man over 60 should do before breakfast, why chugging water actually weakens your erection, and how to sip for pressure, not pee, the exact morning quart protocol that reinflates your blood volume and boosts testosterone by lunch, 3 high-water foods that slip extra hydration into every bite, long-term habits like late-night coffee and low-salt diets that silently drain performance. Stay to the end because the first habit I expose is the one most men swear by, and it is wrecking their circulation. Type your city in the comments so we can map who is taking their strength back. If clear, practical advice matters to you, hit like and subscribe to Glowing Age right now. That single click tells me to keep bringing doctor-level solutions straight to your screen. Let's turn plain water into real power. Why hydration affects erections more than you think. Lose just 2% of your body water, and study after study shows your erection strength can drop by nearly a third. Most men treat dehydration like a minor nuisance, dry mouth, random cramp, but inside the penis it is a mechanical crisis. An erection is nothing more than a pressure event. Blood must enter 2 sponge-like cylinders, the corpora cavernosa, faster than it can leave. That pressure depends on 2 variables, blood volume and vessel diameter. Dehydration sabotages both. First, volume. Your bloodstream is about 55% plasma, and plasma is mostly water. When you skimp on fluids, plasma volume falls, blood thickens, and the heart must push that sludge through ever-narrowing arteries. Think garden hose versus fire hose. Less volume reaching the pelvis means less filling of erectile tissue, no matter how high your testosterone sits. Second, diameter. Adequate hydration keeps endothelial cells, the inner lining of arteries, supple. These cells release nitric oxide, the gas that tells vessels to relax. Dehydration stresses the endothelium, nitric oxide output drops, vessels tighten, and the limited blood you still have meets more resistance. The result is softer, slower, or short-lived erections. Age compounds the problem. Thirst sensation blunts after 50, so older men often walk around 1 to 2 quarts low without realizing it. Add diuretics, coffee, tea, blood pressure pills, and the deficit widens. I see men who drink a single cup of coffee at breakfast, nothing until dinner, and wonder why energy, focus, and intimacy feel flat by evening. Hormones suffer too. Even mild dehydration raises cortisol by 20%. Elevated cortisol suppresses luteinizing hormone in the pituitary, and that means lower testosterone production downstream. In plain English, skip water, spike stress, sink testosterone, weaken performance. Here's the part that surprises most patients. The brain cares more about preventing blood pressure collapse than preserving sexual function. When water is scarce, the body reroutes blood away from peripheral tissues, including the penis, to protect vital organs. Your physiology literally chooses survival over pleasure. Clinical data back this up. A 2015 trial in Urology journal showed that men who arrived at the clinic with a urine-specific gravity above 1.02, meaning mildly dehydrated, had significantly lower penile rigidity scores than those who were well hydrated. Rehydration with 1 liter of electrolyte water restored rigidity to baseline within 2 hours. Hydration also influences mood and neural arousal. A brain short on water shrinks slightly, increasing fatigue and dulling the midbrain centers that trigger sexual desire. Many men mistake that mental flatness for psychological disinterest, when it is simply a dehydrated nervous system running on reserve. The takeaway is stark. Water is not a casual footnote in male sexual health. It is the raw material for blood volume, the lubricant for vessel flexibility, and the prerequisite for nitric oxide release. Ignore it, and no supplement, pump, or pill will fully compensate. In the next segment, I'll show you the hidden signs you're drinking wrong, and the timing errors that flush electrolytes instead of fueling performance. Mistakes I correct daily in my practice to restore reliable blood flow where it matters most. Signs you're not drinking right, even if you think you are. You might swear you drink plenty, but the body says otherwise. Start with the color test. If your first morning urine looks closer to apple juice than pale lemonade, you woke up dehydrated. That darker shade means your kidneys are concentrating waste because there's not enough water to flush it. And if you begin the day behind, every system, including the vascular network that drives erections, operates on deficit until you catch up. Morning headache is another red flag. Overnight, you lose up to a pint of fluid through breathing and sweat. Blood volume dips, cerebral vessels constrict to maintain pressure, and pain receptors fire. Many men blame aging or pillow choice when a simple glass of water before bed, and one on waking, would solve it. Fatigue after a single flight of stairs. That too can be hydration. Thick blood forces the heart to beat faster for the same oxygen delivery. A 2021 study from the University of Arkansas showed men over 60 who were just 1% dehydrated experienced a 9% drop in maximal oxygen uptake. That translates to early muscle burn and a sense that you're out of shape, when you're actually just low on plasma. Look at the skin on the back of your hand. Pinch and release. If the fold lingers more than a second, tissue turgor is down, classic dehydration. The same microfluid slump that wrinkles skin also shrinks erectile tissue capacity. Chronic constipation is another silent clue. The colon pulls water from stool when intake falls. Straining in the bathroom signals the body is scavenging fluid wherever it can. That same conservation strategy reduces lubrication of joints and thickens blood. Each strain pushes pelvic veins, hindering the rapid arterial inflow erections require. Even your coffee habit tells a story. If you need a second or third mug to feel normal, odds are you're masking early dehydration fatigue with caffeine. Diuretics force kidneys to expel extra water and electrolytes, deepening the deficit. The short-term perk is followed by mid-morning fog, a cycle many mistake for normal aging. Chugging large amounts all at once is yet another misstep. Rapid intake triggers natriuretic peptides, hormones that tell the kidneys, dump the excess. You urinate clear within 20 minutes, thinking you're hydrated while electrolytes flush out and cells remain thirsty. The better approach is steady sipping, 5 to 7 ounces every waking hour, so fluid actually enters tissues and stabilizes blood volume. Timing matters around meals. Gulping water while you eat dilutes stomach acid, slows digestion, and can spike insulin when carbohydrates linger in the gut. Worse, post-meal chugging diverts blood to the intestines, away from peripheral circulation. If you notice a food coma and erectile sluggishness after dinner, consider that your hydration pattern is hijacking blood flow. Finally, note erectile flatness itself. When arousal arrives but firmness doesn't follow, it often reflects suboptimal vascular pressure, not a hormone failure. I ask patients to drink a measured half-liter of mineral water with a pinch of sea salt 2 hours before intimacy. Many report a noticeable difference, proving hydration was the missing variable. Recognizing these signs turns guesswork into data. Correct them, and you set the stage for the protocol I'll share next. A doctor-designed schedule and recipe that transforms plain water into a circulation tool instead of a last-minute fix. The Erection-Hydration link, what science says. Blood is mostly water, and erections are essentially hydraulic events driven by pressure. That simple fact makes hydration the most overlooked performance enhancer for older men. But let's move from theory to data. Start with nitric oxide. This tiny gas molecule relaxes smooth muscle in penile arteries, allowing blood to surge in. A 2017 study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that mild dehydration, just 2% body weight loss, reduced nitric oxide production by 22% and cut endothelial dilation in half. Less dilation means less inflow, no matter how healthy your heart is. Plasma viscosity is the second pillar. Italian researchers measured blood thickness in men undergoing vascular exams. Those in the upper quartile for viscosity had a 60% higher rate of erectile complaints, even after adjusting for age and cholesterol. Rehydration thinned plasma, lowered shear stress on artery walls, and restored penile pulse amplitude within 90 minutes. Hormones round out the picture. An NIH trial placed healthy men on a controlled hydration protocol. When fluid intake fell below 1.5 liters per day, salivary testosterone dropped 10–15% in 48 hours and recovered only after 2 days of optimal fluid plus electrolytes. The mechanism: dehydration elevates vasopressin and cortisol, both of which blunt luteinizing hormone, the signal that tells the testes to make testosterone. Brain imaging adds another layer. Functional MRI scans show that dehydrated subjects display decreased activity in the ventral tegmental area, the dopamine hub tied to desire and motivation. In practical terms, thirst dampens libido before you even reach the bedroom. 1 glass of electrolyte water raised ventral tegmental activity within 15 minutes, restoring interest alongside circulation. Clinical anecdotes back the lab work. I treated a 71-year-old retired pilot with borderline hypertension and fading nocturnal erections. His labs were unremarkable. His hydration habit was: he drank coffee all morning, wine with dinner, and little else. We introduced a structured intake: 500 ml mineral water on waking, 250 ml each hour until dinner, with a pinch of sea salt every second glass. In 4 weeks, his morning rigidity scale rose from 3 to 7 out of 10, blood pressure eased by 8 points, and he reported more spark during the day. No drugs, just disciplined hydration. Why does timing matter so much? Because fluid distribution is dynamic. Drink 2 hours before anticipated activity and plasma volume peaks right when you need it. Drink during the act and you're already late. Absorption lags behind demand. Preloading also primes the kidneys to conserve sodium, keeping blood volume stable rather than flushing it out. Electrolytes complete the equation. Sodium and potassium create the osmotic pull that drags water into the bloodstream and tissues. Plain water alone can correct thirst yet leave plasma hypotonic, water outside cells but not inside vessels where pressure counts. A tiny pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of citrus supplies the ions that lock water into circulation. The science is clear. Erections live or die by vascular pressure, nitric oxide output, and hormonal signals, all of which collapse when you're even slightly dry. Master hydration, and you unlock a foundational layer no pill can replace. Up next, I'll give you the exact drinking protocol: how much, when, and what to add, so your next glass becomes a strategic tool for stronger, faster, and more reliable performance. How to drink water for better erections, doctor's protocol. Picture water as a prescription with dosage, timing, and cofactors. Get those 3 right, and you raise penile blood pressure the same way medication raises systemic pressure, only without side effects. 1 morning quart. Keep a 1-liter bottle on your nightstand. Before coffee, before news, drink the first 250 ml slowly over 5 minutes. Walk to the kitchen, finish the remaining 750 ml within the next 20. This replaces fluid loss to overnight breathing and primes plasma volume for the day's first testosterone surge, which peaks about 90 minutes after waking. Patients who adopt this step often report warmer hands during breakfast, proof that vessels are already dilating. 2 pre-meal half glass. 30 minutes before each main meal, sip 200 ml with a pinch of sea salt or electrolyte powder containing sodium and potassium. The ions pull water into the bloodstream instead of letting it sit in the gut. Drinking before, not during, keeps stomach acid strong for protein digestion and prevents post-meal blood diversion away from pelvic arteries. 3 hourly sips, not gulps. Every waking hour, aim for 150 ml, about 5 ounces. Use a narrow neck bottle. It forces smaller swallows that the small intestine absorbs efficiently. Rapid chugging triggers the atrial natriuretic peptide dump reflex, and you lose more in urine than you gain in circulation. Slow drip intake keeps blood osmolality stable, maintaining the nitric oxide pathway necessary for rapid vessel relaxation during arousal. 4. Performance preload. If intimacy is planned, drink 300 ml of mineral water with a squeeze of lemon 2 hours prior. The minerals lock water into plasma. Vitamin C in lemon protects nitric oxide from oxidative breakdown. 2 hours is the sweet spot. Fluid has cleared the stomach, electrolytes are circulating, and endothelial cells are primed. Clients who follow this timing tell me they feel heat in the groin and a subtle uptick in confidence before they reach the bedroom. 5. Evening taper. Cut fluid volume by half after 8 p.m. to avoid nocturnal bathroom trips that fragment the deep sleep phase where testosterone resets. Instead of plain water, take 150 ml warm herbal tea with a pinch of magnesium citrate. Magnesium relaxes smooth muscle, lowering nighttime blood pressure and enhancing morning rigidity scores. Optional boosters. Add 2 slices of cucumber or a sprig of mint to your bottle. Both contain trace potassium and make sipping more enjoyable. On hot or high-activity days, add a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt per liter and increase hourly sips to 200 ml. Dehydration accelerates in heat, and early correction prevents the vascular tightening that blunts erections hours later. What to avoid? Don't pair large water intakes with alcohol. Ethanol is a diuretic. You'll flush the fluid and more. Match each serving of wine or spirits with an equal volume of electrolyte water to stay net positive. Limit caffeine to 2 cups before noon. Beyond that, diuresis offsets your efforts. Follow this protocol for 1 week and track 3 metrics: urine color at sunrise, midday energy, and firmness on waking. When all 3 brighten, you have proof that water, timed and fortified, has become a vascular ally rather than an afterthought. Hydration foods that support erections. Water in a glass is the first line of defense, but water locked inside food acts like a slow-release pump for your arteries. Think of high-water produce as living hydration capsules. They deliver fluid, electrolytes, and nitric oxide boosters in one bite. Start with watermelon. It is 92% water and rich in citrulline, an amino acid your body converts to arginine and then to nitric oxide. A cup of chilled cubes at lunch hydrates and widens vessels simultaneously. In a Texas A&M study, men who added 2 cups of watermelon daily saw a measurable rise in penile hardness ratio after 4 weeks, without changing anything else. Next, cucumber. The green skin holds silica and potassium, 2 minerals that pull water into cells and keep blood pH balanced. Slice half a cucumber into your water bottle. Each sip picks up electrolytes that prevent the flushing effect plain water can trigger. Patients who hate salt in water find cucumber gives the same sodium-potassium support with a fresher taste. Celery works double duty. Its high water content keeps plasma volume steady, and its apigenin compound acts as a mild vasodilator. Crunch 3 ribs with hummus mid-afternoon. The steady chewing stimulates saliva, another path for nitrate-reducing bacteria, and you arrive at dinner already primed for good circulation. For a sweet option, use berries. Strawberries and blueberries are 87% water, but packed with anthocyanins that shield nitric oxide from oxidative stress. Blend a half cup into yogurt. The protein slows sugar absorption while the berry water seeps into blood gradually, giving endothelial cells a prolonged bath in antioxidants. Don't overlook leafy greens like arugula and romaine. They reach up to 95% water and carry some of the highest nitrate loads of any vegetable. Add 2 cups to dinner. You hydrate while providing raw material for an overnight nitric oxide surge that supports morning firmness. For men who dislike plain water, broth-based soups are game changers. A cup of homemade chicken broth delivers sodium, potassium, magnesium, and collagen. Sip it as an evening snack instead of salty crackers or wine. Older men with low appetite often get half their daily fluids from soup without realizing they're hydrating. Avoid stealth dehydrators masquerading as snacks. Salted nuts, jerky, and chips pull water out of cells. If you eat them, pair with equal grams of cucumber or celery to balance the fluid loss. And remember, coffee counts against your total. For every mug of caffeine, add an extra 250 ml of electrolyte water or a slice of high-water fruit. One warning: beet juice is fantastic for nitric oxide, but not for constant sipping. Excess oxalates may stress kidneys. Rotate beets with watermelon or leafy greens to keep hydration and nitrate levels high without overloading one pathway. Integrate these foods into each meal, and you transform hydration from a chore into flavor. Every bite nudges plasma volume upward, bathes arteries in protective compounds, and leaves the body quietly prepared for those moments when blood flow must rise on command. Long-term habits that kill erection-hydration. Hydration isn't just about what you drink. It's about what drains you day after day, often without warning. Over time, certain long-standing habits quietly strip your body of the fluid and minerals needed for optimal blood flow, hormone function, and erectile strength. You can drink all the water you want, but if these habits remain, it's like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain wide open. Let's begin with one of the most common, chronic underdrinking from blunted thirst. After age 60, your brain's thirst signals weaken. You may not feel thirsty, but your body is already short on fluid. Many men wait until their mouth is dry before sipping. By then, blood is already thick, plasma volume is down, and erectile tissue gets second priority. If you're not tracking your intake intentionally, you're likely falling short by at least 20 to 30 ounces per day. Next is overuse of diuretics, and not just the prescription kind. Coffee, tea, and alcohol are the usual suspects. A cup or two of coffee in the morning is fine, but 3, 4, or 5. That's a recipe for slow dehydration. Add in a nightly drink and you've now created a cycle. Deplete fluid, raise cortisol, shrink testosterone, and make vascular tissue stiffer, not more elastic. Even worse, most men don't compensate with added electrolytes. So even if you drink water after your wine, you're still washing minerals out of your system. Low-sodium diets can also backfire. While excessive salt raises blood pressure, too little sodium, especially in older adults, means your body can't hold onto the water you do drink. Sodium helps pull fluid into your blood vessels. Without it, you end up urinating out the hydration you tried to build. This is especially critical if you take blood pressure meds, ACE inhibitors, or diuretics. If you follow a low-salt diet, but feel lightheaded, fatigued, or notice more nighttime urination, ask your doctor to review your electrolyte levels. Then there's nighttime dehydration by habit. Many men stop drinking fluids after 6 or 7 p.m. to avoid getting up at night, and that's understandable. But this also means you go into the most critical hormone repair window, sleep, with reduced blood volume. Testosterone, growth hormone, and nitric oxide all rebuild during deep sleep, and that requires circulation. If you go to bed dry, you may fall asleep, but your morning performance will reflect the deficit. The better move. Sip 150 ml of mineral water about an hour before bed. Enough to support repair, but not enough to wake you. Skipping meals and high-carb snacking are two other problems. A skipped breakfast means your first hydration hit comes with lunch, 6 hours too late. And processed snacks like crackers, chips, and pretzels suck water from your gut and bloodstream as your body tries to process the salt load without minerals. You end up not just dehydrated, but inflamed. When I see men with sudden drops in morning firmness, 9 out of 10 times it's tied to skipped meals and poor snack timing. Finally, ignoring medications. Impact is a common but critical mistake. Blood pressure pills, prostate meds, and antidepressants often interfere with your hydration balance. Some reduce aldosterone, the hormone that helps you retain sodium and water. Others, like beta blockers, slow your heart and reduce renal filtration. If you're on multiple meds, your hydration target should be even higher, but very few patients are told this. Here's the truth: erections are a vascular privilege. Your body only allows it when the rest of your systems are fully supported. That means no stress, no fluid deficit, no electrolyte imbalance. Your brain decides, are we in a safe state for reproduction? If hydration is unstable, the answer is no, and the blood goes elsewhere. Correcting these long-term habits isn't dramatic. It's daily, small course corrections. Sip steadily. Add minerals. Time fluids with care. Know your meds. And pay attention to what your body is quietly asking for, because it's not just about thirst. It's about readiness, strength, and the confidence that comes from a system that works every time. You've seen the blueprint. Morning quart, pre-meal sips, hourly doses, mineral boosters, and water-rich foods that keep vessels wide and ready. Pick one step, just one, and start tonight. Then come back and share the first change you notice: warmer hands, clearer mind, or a firmer hello in the morning. Like the video, subscribe to Glowing Age, and help me keep these science-based lessons flowing to every man who refuses to fade quietly with age.